Hello everyone, I am PRX something.
That's said, and I'm Pedro back with another interview. This time covering VCT Masters Toronto 2025. My guess at this time is, well, as you said, it's something of Paper X. This time coming off of a victory over Sentinels in the upper bracket semifinals. So let's move on to the upper bracket finals in set competition. So something. Thank you so much for the opportunity and massive congrats on this achievement. It's the second time in around 2 years that this team has been able to reach top three. The most previous occasion being champions 2023. Just want to ask
Yep.
you to start off. How are you feeling? What's going through your mind? What's the emotions like?
Feeling great, but after like 30 minutes after match, I kinda still shaking, but not that much. So I have a lot of adrenaline during the game, and yeah, it feels great to win decent team like that.
There was plenty of anticipation and intrigue regarding this matchup, given that you guys have been going on a very good run up until this point, and then Sentinels can be said that they're on the same run as well. And so, for it to thus go into a 2-0 result with you guys, squeaking by Sentinels on that second map, walk me through how difficult it was to navigate an opponent like that.
Mm, I mean, we do a lot of preparation towards our game, towards Sentinels play, and Alex and Manfred give us a lot of like kinda notes how we need to play versus them before the game kinda. Mm, and I will say this win give us a lot of momentum overall. Like I guess if you start talking about that, G2 and this game give us a lot of momentum in terms of like we are actually playing well and we prove it, you know. So we prove it to ourselves and to everyone. We actually can play well, you know, on this tournament.
So it's more like a statement kind of game, right? Just to
Yeah.
let everybody know you guys are the real deal, right?
Yep.
No, yeah. And then the game started off in a pretty lopsided fashion for your team, Miss Pedro, of course, on split. And we saw
Mm.
a continuation of the team's strength in that map. I mean, what do you think just made it so lopsided for you guys to start off with a 13-3 victory on split?
I think overall I will say economy because Sentinels in the defense they play like three equals something like that. So it give us huge opportunity to snowball them like that. But anyway, we throw some rounds, you know, some like 1-2 rounds. We threw like 2 versus 4, 2 versus 3, something like that. It could be even more cleaner, but anyway, and yeah, nothing much to say. You know, I think it's because of the economy, the way how they're playing, and the way how we won the rounds.
The closest part of the series was that second map in Sunset. It kind of stayed equal throughout the entire map up until the very end, in which you guys finally pulled away. How were you guys able to come out of this map on top and close this series in two maps?
You're talking about Sunset? How? Sorry, I don't get it. The question.
Yeah, how were you guys able to win Sunset? Given that it was much more
Oh,
difficult compared to map one.
mm, I think I will say. Well, I think the most important thing for us for our next game, next Sunset, is we need to fix our post plan first of all. The way how we playing post plan nowadays, it's not ideally because piece around we should win. We already do everything perfect like we can do, but still, you know. And I think it's because we again got some momentum on the defense. When Jing ulti, then he push again, the same thing. And yeah, it gives us like a lot of confidence to play the next rounds. But overall, I would say about Sentinels, the way how they're playing, it's really tough to play versus them on Sunset, especially.
Fortunately, you guys were able to win this one. I want to ask you more specifically now onto Sova. Playing on
Hmm.
that agent in that map. up until or so far this year, you've been playing this agent 5 times, and obviously you're kind of making way for for Jing to play the race. Which obviously, everybody knows
Yeah.
that Jing is like one of the best races in the world. So no problem with that. Still though, like I want to ask you about your kind of like um your transition into that kind of agent when the opportunity presents itself. How did you view your like versatility, your adaptation to playing
Mm.
Sova, and how that kind of contributes the rest of the team in today's match?
Yep. I think overall, if you talk about that, when Sunset came out, I already start playing not on Duelist. I already start playing on Gecko, Breach, Fate. I used to play on Fate also on Sunset some of the time. And then we just changed to Sova, because like someone need to play Sova, and GG, as you mentioned, he's the best race. So like there is no way I gonna play on race, right? It doesn't make sense. So we just decide, okay, I'm gonna play on Initiate or something like that. And then when Petits come, it's easier for him to learn Viper on Sunset rather than me learning Viper on Sunset, because Petman already kind of know how to play on Viper because he played on Icebox a lot on Viper.
That's it. Now you guys are moving on to the next round of playoffs where you guys await Wolves. Real quick, I want to ask you just your thoughts on Wolves as a team. I believe you guys, maybe you guys have already have faced them, maybe not, like in scrims and stuff like that. But still, like I want to ask you just sort of like your overview on the progression of that team and how much it has impressed like everyone, including yourselves, and also like the difficulty of the challenge ahead.
I mean, we are impressed from their run. They already like secured top 3 minimum. And for them, I will say we play a lot of screams, like back in Pacific when we practicing for a stage. So we kind of know how they playing, and they kind of know how we are playing. Obviously, nowadays we don't really scream because we have like another teams to screams. But I guess play style is gonna be kind of same. It's just like we need to adjust our game towards them, the way how they're playing. And yeah, I mean, nothing much to say. Let's see.
Like I said at the start of this conversation, you reaching top 3 is the first time you and the rest of PRX have reached this feat in Champions 2023. I mean, if you look at that previous occasion, obviously you had Mind Freak, and now looking at right now, Mind Freak is on the bench. Now Patman's in Mind Freak's place, so technically it's kind of like a different spot. But still, though, like, I want to ask you just sort of like, how do you kind of compare that previous spot to this previous spot? And also, do you feel like the W Gaming identity mantra still relatively changed, stayed the same, or has it changed slightly because of Patman's inclusion?
Yeah, it's kind of actually you mentioned, and you are right. It's kind of like same situation as a Champions 2023 when we come to tournament and we just go until like grand final without. Do we lose? No, we didn't lose. We only lost in grand final. See, it's kind of same situation. About playstyle 2023 and right now, I think since players are improving and they're improving by far so fast in terms of like calling, in terms of like mechanically the way how nowadays people shooting, people less crouching, and stuff like that. And I will say W gaming is still there. It still works for us, aggressive play style, but we just also improving. We being smarter. We're not like stupid anymore. We're not gonna rush 5-0 every single round. Something like that.
For sure. One more question is going to be a much shorter one. What's the confidence level like for you, just yourself as an individual, that this team can go all the way and finally get that international trophy?
Mm, I still can play a little bit more better as a individual wise, but as a team, I think we are on the peak of confidence. I think just because of the momentum and the way how we are playing right now.
Of course, and hopefully this can continue for the rest of the competition. Something. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for the interview, for the answers, and best of luck for you in the journey ahead.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much.